Now, Izu switching on to the Sentinel role, particularly the Chamber, was just really divine to look at.
I mean, it's just, I think it's fairly straightforward, but it's also just very, very smart here because Izu, when he's got an operator in hand, he's one of the deadliest guys that we have in the region. And this is a region that's got stacked offers pretty much across the board. But Izu is looking like he is, one of the best of the best. Yeah. So, okay, Yoru's out, can't really be upping on that, put him on the Chamber. Yeah. He's got it as his ultimate, might as well just have him slotted in, and he looked immaculate.
I love the approach from T1. It's a very, very simple take on like how you're trying to adapt to this meta. They're not making these big sweeping changes. Instead, they can put Izu on a very kind of simple agent. It suits him down to the ground, and it's quite good at countering a lot of what we're seeing now. So I think we're going to continue to see these massive performances from him unless people are game planning against him and really putting a stop to his Chamber.
Yeah, your nerf, not an Izu.
Wow.
That line was written by none other than our favorite writer, Andy. It's a good line. Not
Great
an
line.
Izu.
As in, it's supposed to be not an issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Andy.
You explained it.
We're going to have a conversation when I come downstairs.
I liked it. We liked it.
I like it.
Good job, Andy. I don't know who they ended up putting for their skirmish because, skirmishes are back. I would put Izu on personally.
Well, wasn't it last week they sent stacks, I think, didn't they?
Yeah.
Versus Feral?
Which
and then they ended up losing, I believe.
Yes.
So they have send out Izu.
Okay, it is.
That's better. I like that approach a little bit more. I mean, let's see how sharp he is. I mean, I think we've all got him in the build diff team. Ideally, I want to see strong performances there across the board. Bring the op out, big man. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be curious if they, decided to just go for rifles only, if we will be seeing some shenanigans. But for now, it's just going to be the Vandals.
Okay.
And it's a very
Let's
good start for
go
Izu.
T1, tim perkedel.
He's a little bit behind now. I mean,
Execute
super clean shots from either of them. It's a little bit of a warm-up, bit of an adjustment. There we go. He's on the board. He's getting settled in.
Halo teman-teman.
As well.
Do you think any of them
Mari
warm
kita
up before they do this skirmish?
menonton PASIFIC ya teman-teman ya. VCT PASIFIC.
Surely, we won the map.
I mean, when Wendler does it for FavorX, it looks like he's going in cold. But I think for basically everybody else, there's a bit of a warm-up.
Yeah. Okay. I hope someone said that to Wendler.
Let him know. Let him know. Izu up 3-2.
He knows it comes from a place of criticism.
Wendler's such a nice guy. Why would you do dirty like that?
He is.
All right, Izu's.
This is a slow skirmish.
Yes.
They're both really trying to find the best fights that they can get right now.
I mean, I think that, both of them just kind of want that advantage. And I feel like DFM really needed it, but it will be a 5-2. I mean, I don't think there's any shame in losing to Izu like that.
No,
but
I mean, it's Izu after all.
It's not going to have the DFM viewing party popping off quite just yet, but hopefully they'll be providing plenty more options and reasons to do so.
Yeah, I hope so as well. The DFM definitely, again, they were so hyped over in kickoff, and we wanted them to have a really good shot here in stage 1. Of course, the question will be, now that the skirmish is over, what is going to be happening with the map veto?
Please make sense.
Yeah.
T1, okay. They leaned into the Phoenix, but they're going to be banning away the Haven, and DFM decided to go to Pearl again. So again, are they going to be playing this double scan? Or do they revert back, put Yasuo on something like the Chamber, where you can just actually have some very solid agency and pop off? That's what I want to see.
I feel like they'll be showing something different. I don't think the Pearl even looked. It looked like they needed a lot of work to get the Pearl to be in a sort of strong state in that comp that they were playing before. So I want to see them simplify that game plan. Pearl is not the most crazy complicated map that we have. I think you can play that Chamber. You can really strip it back down. And a week is more than enough time for them to swap this map to looking strong. T1 will be picking Lotus.
Lotus
not seen
cukup
that from
seru
either
ya.
of these teams yet.
Fraktur
So.
agak sampah ya teman-teman ya. Map
Do they bring
sampah.
back the ISO? It's kind of been on the outskirts of different points. Do you go like Buzz, Neon, and then Meteor ISO, and because then you could just have Izu keep playing Chamber on that map.
I want to see T1 lean into this Chamber everywhere. So I think ISO could be a really nice fit, and of course ISO kind of is that counter to Chamber, especially if you
that could be very interesting. I think their Lotus was really hit or miss last year with that, but this year I think the formula is a little bit better. The meta is a little bit more in their favor for this, and you guys were breaking down Pearl a little bit here, and here's a little bit of history of what we've seen so far this year between the two teams.
I do want to see this pivot back for DFM, because I think if they come out and they play that same double scan and they haven't really figured out how to do it, T1 don't even have to VOD review that opening series. They just were not really finding their footing at all with that composition. They were not utilizing the utility that they had to really any degree to get themselves advantages. So if they're going to come out with that same game plan and no better understanding of how to play it, I think that this is just going to be Team 1 absolutely demolishing them.
I mean, I think if you're Izu, you're looking at them to swap away. I think if you're playing that chamber, you're sort of hoping that they're not going to bring out that Teo and Silva because it can have a lot of answers for you. But we'll have to wait and see. Got the predictions. Paper Thin sticking with DFM.
Okay, so...
Mika's 100%!
That's crazy. I didn't realize that.
I think a couple of us have taken some liberties with the predictions, but the thing is, at the start of stage 1, they tend to fall into the predictable predictions. I think Gen G last week was, you know, I thought I was being clever. I switched from Global Esports to Gen G. That had been a big mistake. But today, you guys saw it. I was kind of back and forth a little bit. I picked DFM, went back to T1, and I think it's just... so much is stacked in T1's favor right now. Logically, I had to go with T1. I mean, how are you guys feeling between these two, real quick?
I think you have to go with the eye test. I think you have to go with what you see. The first week is always going to be difficult because you don't know what changes are going to be, made, what they're going to be going for on different comps with the different maps coming in. So I got that one out of the way. My 50%, I'm hoping to improve from here.
All right. Well, we'll talk about this, Morgan, in a little bit because we got to send it down to the stage and welcome the two teams. DFM is going to be facing T1, and right now they didn't have a good showing, but we all want them to prove us wrong as we send it to the stage for week 2.
Let's go. Ini kalau di VM menang lawan T1 sih, expect sih. Secara keseluruhan T1 harusnya bisa menang.
Detonation focus me.
It's week 2. We got DFM facing off against T1. Now, DFM had a little bit of a rocky start last week, but we still have high expectations. The core of this team had Kaide and Yatsuka join from Riddle Order along with their coach, and we saw a lot of improvement happen over in kickoff, and we want to see that happen again here. And Akame, missed the hoop, his facial expression. Their dances will never fail. He will never fail to do this every single time, which I can appreciate, but we also want to see them win a match.
Yeah, I don't know how he keeps coming up with new stuff personally, but this DFM roster, they look to be the flag bearers of Japanese Valorant. Such an incredible kickoff from them, got the whole scene hyped up just for it to fall flat in that week 1. Now is a chance to bounce back against a real big dog, show what you can truly do, but we need to see them improve leaps and bounds from that first week.
Yeah, that's right. What is he holding?
I
that
didn't
little
quite get to
red.
catch it.
Looks like
a Sentinel square.
Yeah, that's what it looked like.
Like a little smiley face on
Detonation
Super Meat Boy or something like that.
Interesting.
T1.
Well, still facing T1. I hope they're going to be locked in, even with good vibes there, because T1 looked very good last week. We saw every single one of their players perform well last week, but the argument, you could say they were playing against inexperienced players, Beryl, who have just ascended from Ascension, so they do have all those years of experience over them. So today will be a little bit of a bigger test.
Well, no dances over here, just some thumbs up and I'll walk up onto the stage.
Vibrating thumb.
I mean, this is the 5th time that these teams have actually squared off against each other, and that's all been within the VCT Pacific circuit. They've never faced at any kind of off-season international tournament, something like that. It has just been the 5th meeting of these squads. And you have to remember, all the way back in 2024, T1 was that organization that did give DFM their first ever win in franchising.
Oh, yes.
Oh, I remember that.
We bought
Since
on
then,
that day.
hasn't been going so well. It's the one win that they got out of the 4 times that they have faced off. T1 have typically had DFM's number, but 2 parts on that roster. It was Cess, it was May to be able to conquer them and get that unexpected win for the first time on the stage. T1, though, they are looking to be in much better shape. And for DFM, I want to see them return to being the flag bearers, because right now, it feels like this is back and forth, not even within the game, but just across the board between the Japanese squads, where DFM were looking so good at kickoff, but now Zeta is starting to come up from behind, nip at their heels, and maybe even overtake them with their performance.
It's like there's a witch's curse. They can't both be good at the same time. Who gets to be good this stage? That's the question. Zeta showed a pretty decent week 1 performance. They made it close. DFM, they're not happy with that. They need to show up today against T1, and I kind of respect them picking Pearl again. I'm very curious what they're going to bring out, but I always kind of like it if a team loses that map pick and they go back to it because it's saying, hey, we know we can improve. We know we can do better than what we showed. Have some faith, have some belief in the prep and in the work that we've done. So I think that's going to be the biggest test for this squad.
I like that, and it tends to be true. Most teams that do this tend to come back much harder and much better when they pick into it a second time, because ideas tend to fall through, especially the very first match of the season.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you can just review it and go, hey, we didn't approach the game plan, or we didn't play it in the same way.
Sure.
We do have the agent select coming in. For DFM, it's the same composition, but different roles. 4 of them swapping around, only Mei staying on that waylay. So Kaide back to the Sentinel, Akame back to that scan initiator, and Yatsuka now taking the Teo. So very, very different roles, but the same composition.
I like that. I like the swap.
I mean, I would say it just depends on how it all comes out on stage. My biggest concern is that this iteration, this composition that they like to run just ends up being one of those things that works in scrims but never translates to stage. RQ back in 2023, their Lotus was one of those things that they consistently ran because they knew they were good on it, could perform on that map, but it never translated onto the actual stage. I want to see the differences. I want to see the improvement here, and I need to see that from DFM.
We absolutely do. All right, we're going to send it to our casters for map 1. It's going to be Pearl DFM versus T1. And to cast us through today, it's Pilsky and Quack.
Thank you very much. Yes, it's us, Hey and Quack, and of course Pilsky as well. I mean, what do you think of the whole kind of 4 guys swapping up roles?
Hate it. It feels like sunk cost fallacy at this point for DFM. I mean, Pearl isn't even necessarily a map that they've been that successful on, but T1 has been quite a successful map. So having won both pistols against Full Sense last week and still only getting yourself 6 rounds with a comp that didn't really seem to suit the strengths of DFM, who got their best ever placement just in the last season. Their last few stages have been going very well, and they haven't been going very well playing double ENIT, I can tell you that.
Oh man, yeah, you definitely are quite vocal with those opinions. I mean, do you think they should actually maybe go for a whole comp swap? Because this is the same thing right now.
The thing is, I feel like DFM in their position are going to have felt like they haven't shown their best level of form. They've won both of their pistols against Full Sense, and they've just had a very off game. Comp aside, maybe their execution wasn't great, but the individuals were off as well. So clearly, Pearl is a map that they have prepared heavily coming into this stage, and they've got a lot more to show on it. The question is whether they can execute it in the server, because the double initiator comp, double scan comp can be clunky at the best of times. It requires you to have good organization, great macro, and a team like T1 is exactly the kind of team that wants to disrupt that and break down all of your tricky little plans.
Precisely that. As we kick things off right here onto Pearl between T1 and DFM. Clearly, so far in Group Omega, T1 have been having their way with things, especially, despite the meta changes here and there. Izu on this chamber has been quite the biggest factor for this team.
Yeah, I think T1 is just kind of simplifying the comps down to what you'd expect them to be in a lot of cases. They're playing a lot of Sky Phoenix. They're throwing Nizu on the chamber, kind of simplifying things down. Meteor's still playing a lot of Senti. Munchkin on the controller. Tends to make sense. Aggression off the back here, though, of DFM. This is a little bit more like it. You want to see them get in the face of T1 and not let the game so much come to them and rely on that double edit. In the meantime, T1 throwing that smoke down on B long and taking control. Munchkin turtled all the way in sight. This timing between May and Munchkin could be round defining here, and there's no way you're checking that corner. Easy double dink for Munchkin and a free Sheriff for him to pick up.
Yeah, that had me feeling very nervous, and suddenly seeing someone push all the way up mid, you're starting to question where else could the rest of DFM be.
Well, DFM are trying to find out where T1 is. Buzz dealing with the stealth drone there. Will deny information to a comp that often seeks to find exactly that. So they don't have any drones left as Akame's purchased up a Sheriff into that round. He's holding on the recon dart to later on in the round. Yatsuka was in astral form for a moment, looking to try to pick one coming in from tiles. It's a bit of a messy duel though, but still gets away with it. Munchkin punishing through the door.
That's the Sheriff that he picked up off of May's cold corpse. That's honestly quite the painful one. Now because of that, T1, they've had all the utility that they've been banking on. They get to dump it straight into this A site where, you know, trying to set up now, possibly anticipating a recon as well. Couple of shots out from Akame, but not quite able to really connect. He does find one, actually, still, but Buzz will push through. Meanwhile, the rest of T1 just trying to play around the spike stairs. Position still being held, Munchkin.
One by one?
Sheriff v Sheriff. It just comes down to the quick draw. Tapped onto the spike. Munchkin tries to go for the swing, but it's Akame. Comes up with the goods instead.
Yeah, he was a standout on Pearl the last time that DFM played it, even though he was on that Senti role. And the thing that they said about putting Akame on the Sentinel is, well, we put him on the Sentinel because he can shoot. And it turns out, it doesn't matter what agent you put him on, he can still shoot. He's been one of the more flexible players coming in from the Japanese scene and overall here in VCT Pacific, having played that info ENIT role in just the last stage. One of the sharper players on DFM, and at times, think about that Pearl game versus Paper when he was on the chamber. He's had very, very big performances for the side, even at times eclipsing May.
Okay, so far this role swap somewhat trending upward for DFM. I know it's just one round, but we'll see.
That's 3 from 3 pistols for DFM, though. They won both pistols against Full Sense and had 0 success on the map after that, so you definitely won't get carried away just yet.
3-9 first half defense side. They started it off against Full Sense.
It's an ideal. Buzz sliding in. Oh my god, Maze lights them up through the smoke. That is unbelievable. Refracting back away.
That's lucker dog right there, man.
Lucky dog.
He's gonna try to double dip, but you know, will eat a bandit shot. Either way, though, I mean, pretty much still DFM in control, but T1 getting the spike plants pretty nice for themselves too.
Yeah, pretty good use of the salvos so far from Cess. He's been quite effective. It's definitely a player that I want to keep an eye on his performance, because I feel like his performance when he was playing Info ENIT on DFM, he was one of the lowest rated players in all of Pacific. Since switching over to controller, kind of juggling the IGL duties, he's had a massive uptick in performance. So just throwing him back onto an Info ENIT again here on Pearl put him in a position where maybe his performance is going to take a dip. DFM definitely not hoping so.
There's so much of it. Yeah, it's got the controller as well, but it's nice to see that they're having fun.
What is going on at the playgrounds, man?
The dances on the stage, you know, the whole team is kind of influenced by the vibes, but at the same time, off to a possible potential bonus. Everyone's still on the SMGs though.
All picked up by May. Attempt at a pick there from Izu. Immediately rendezvous back away. The scan from the guiding light does confirm that there's someone over here. They actually scanned Yatsuka up over the top of that smoke, and he's gone looking for a little bit too much there. Munchkin, actually one of T1's lower rated players at the moment, having a better performance today.
Kind of hang tight, but at the same time, T1 anticipating the push through. They have the judges in hand, but after a bit of a scuffle, DFM still able to backtrack Look for a place to defend.
They're looking well organized today, though. I like the way they're aggressing together. T1, though, still kind of coming out ahead of this round. Munchkin has charged his way down B long and thrown up that one way. Stax joining him in kind. Seekers will be secured off the back of this nice open plant for T1. Question whether they're going to rip them to try to win this 3-on-2.
My ult's ready. You want to fight it?
Yeah. Have a good go at it. Figure out where your opponents are. Oh, the Cosmic Divide as well. It just makes things really difficult, doesn't it? Especially since Mei doesn't have the refract. Still kind of finds a slight timing to sneak through, though, but that's just going to give his position away. The stun already tossed out. Stax is prepared for the hit. Now more smokes. Just blocking off Mei's vision.
Mei would love one more kill here, and he'll get himself Convergent Paths coming into the first gun round. Slipping through the smoke, does nicely to actually take a gun away from Stax, but Munchkin will clean him up. 5 and 2 for Munchkin thus far. He's looking very switched on for T1 today. And I think a T1 where Munchkin is performing is going to be a very dangerous looking outfit. Love this mid crunch from DFM in the mid round though. Like, this is what I'm saying. I think in comparison to that full sense game where they looked a little disjointed, it felt like they were constantly getting disrupted and not able to get onto the same page. Today they look much better organized, and I'm hoping that's going to continue across the rest of the map.
And just the pacing of that game as well with Primi on the Phoenix. But of course this time we do have Stax on a Sky instead. So starting things off, a bit of smoke just to block off T1.
Yeah, Mei on the line over there, secured by Cess. Have had the guarding light with the pullback of the star on B long multiple times so far for T1. This time it's the Trailblazer first.
Mei with the op as well still. Ooh, shot whiffed. It's Buzz in high gear.
Yeah, I think the side's going to be given up by DFM here. They've cleaned out mid with the Sova drone, so they're going to be in good positions with some pretty good information to try to break down this push of T1. Mei has got the Convergent Paths as well. Stealth drone going forward now.
Whoa! Mei just snaps a shot mid-slide anyway. And I'm not sure if you want to regress back off of that smoke this time.
That turret going up. T1, they felt like they've been read, and I think when you're playing double info Enit with multiple drones in play, you can be well aware that you've lost the majority of the map if you've sat in B long for far too long. Wrapping back into middle now, but with only 35 seconds and none of the Killjoy utility dealt with in the middle of the map, it's going to be tough for them to make this work.
Still going to try though, at least they got a flash in the form of Stax. But all the smokes, and with all this timing as well, T1, DFM's going to be able to get a good read on this, or just rely on the utility or the timer. 15 seconds, the pressure is on. T1 seemed kind of comfortable though, just flashing in.
Just playing retake on A here. Looking for a pick is DFM. Munchkin's getting active inside of the smoke though. See if T1 can find a pick, make this retake very uncomfortable for a DFM who no longer has any drones to work with.
At the same time, Mei potentially would want to deploy the Convergent Path, so depending on how Munchkin times this just right, could be huge. Gonna eat it, but he still has the shots, just the cosmetic stun, and then for the rest of the team to set up off of contact. Onto the spike now.
Right here.
So they have most of the choke points being smoked off, but still, Izu marks it. Kame just gives him a good old drive-by. Yatsuka pushes up, connects onto the triple, and it's DFM who managed to secure a strong lead so far.
That is a very rare whiff from Izu.
You're
gonna put your house on him, picking up that kill on Akame, running up through the smoke that was just fading.
I don't want to lose my house, damn.
I don't think anybody would have thought they would be. Hell of a shot to open things up from Mei. Virgin Pass does a decent job helping them get back in. But I felt like that was T1's round every day of the week. Meteor peeking off the contact of what he thought was going to be a spike tap, and Akame getting away with some absolute robbery in A lane there. T1 with a bit of a slow start here, actually.
Should make things somewhat awkward in terms of their buy, at least. You're on still the Hero Phantom.
Stealth drone goes up through middle. Information gathering in spades for DFM. I mean, Meteor lurking around in middle should be of no surprise to anyone. It's exactly how he always likes to play things.
Welcome.
Just kind of confirm it as well. Meanwhile, still kind of jiggling around the extremities of the map, not seeing too much.
DFM should have a pretty reasonable read on T1 and how they like to play this map. You saw T1 already take on Varel earlier on in this competition. They had a pretty nice time on Pearl so far. for DFM. I mean, as I said, most of the rounds that they won were off the back of the pistol. The gun rounds weren't too successful, and there wasn't much of a second half, so maybe less tape to review on them. Atsuka spotting out the line for now. Not much brought up into this round, and for even someone like Izu, seems to be holding on to a lot of cash from attacking side operator later on.
Otherwise, just kind of holding on to it. Letting T1 make the first move, but that's where you got to watch out as well. Buzz now on to a Vandal. One more kill and it would be overdrive.
Just Neon things. Spike going down now. Kaide punishing them on the cross, making this more expensive for T1 to get comfortable in the back of the site. They're digging their heels into backhaul.
They can actually still hold it. I mean, this is where the double unit utility can come into play. Not to mention May with a full kit as well. Gonna connect into a wall though, so a little bit awkward, but still the whole team pushing up alongside it. And suddenly it's chaos. T1 starts to make a move, but Buzz tries to maintain stability. Pops overdrive as a bit of a warning sign. Could potentially just beam through the smokes. He will go in back. And dives on top of the spike. Prevents it from getting defused, gets a quad, and puts T1 up to 2.
Yeah, Buzz is back on his BS. You saw him getting away with some crazy stuff on the attacking side versus Varel. Has looked like one of the better Neons in the competition, and make no mistake, we are in Neon meta. Kaide does a pretty good job trying to bring that one back for DFM, but felt like once T1 got comfortable in the site, Buzz just took over. The first kill with the jiggle into the Bucky on backhaul is the most critical kill to help T1 get into a post plant. Then he closes it out in style with 3 more in addition.
Timeout, guys.
Yeah, that should have been DFM's, considering the fact that that was like a half buy that T1 had, so...
I mean, that's broken DFM's money. That's a big swing in momentum for this game. You felt like DFM was in full control. They had a really nice retake in round 4, kind of getting away with a little trick in A main there, courtesy of Akame. But in the very next round, they find their economy heavily reset, handing over a handful of guns to T1.
And off as well. I mean, Hunter Sphere was ripped too, so that's quite costly. Hence this timeout to really try to, figure out a different plan perhaps.
Yeah, their retakes, I mean, against Full Sense were a big problem as well. If you remember, a lot of B-side after plants where it felt like they took far too long to get organized. They were getting disrupted. If you remember, Primi just sending it at them up in through spawn side. DFM aren't allowed to get comfortable and kind of pull the retake off in the fashion that they're looking for. They can have a lot of problems, and even with the role swaps, that seems to still be an issue for them.
Continue to keep an eye on it for now, but at the same time, DFM coming into this round with the pistols, they are looking to progress into A main. Unfortunately, that's where the outlaw is. Izu as well. Okay, getting some damage though.
Tipis.
Very bold. Trailblazer going forward on B long, dealt with by Atsuka inside of the smoke. So pistols for DFM. T1 looking to pick up more momentum. Fract active here for May. Goes looking for Munchkin, but Munchkin is not missing a beat today. Looking very sharp, lurking over towards B long on the Astra. This is a big plus of running the Astra as your primary controller.
Yeah, it's an eco as well though, so what are you gonna do? Just try to go fishing. Sometimes you come up with a boot. This time in the form of T1. Meteor holding an off angle while the rest of the team goes skulking across. They kind of expect Meteor to be lurking around middle though, but not to line up like that.
Yeah, the first 2 kills for Meteor, and they come quite easily to him, at least in that round, so hopefully that's going to help him start to work his way into this game. Flawless anti-eco for T1. And what a turn this game has taken. You felt like DFM was in a pretty reasonable position to go on a bit of a run on defense, but now we're straight back to our regularly scheduled programming.
Kind of like how things started off just last week as well, huh? At least they got some ults to work off of perhaps this time.
I mean, if DFM wins 4 from 4 pistols on this map and
it's already a big
struggles to do anything, I think it's time for a change in the veto. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, yikes.
A on the line again. Guiding light avoided, and look, Buzz has given him plenty of opportunities to take pot shots, but not going to be slowing down anytime soon, pushing straight into spawn.
Not a factor for me, though. He's going to fall back, hold a separate line. Coming back in to try to contend with T1 for this B site.
Got into the post plant, yeah. Trailblazer dealt with, and lockdown being prepped by Kaide. How will T1 approach this 4-on-5? They're going to get flushed out of the site, but they're going to invest their own lockdown in response.
At the same time, though, spacing is all that matters right now as Izu comes back through, rendezvous away. Kaide pushes up with the rest of the team. They've broken the lockdown, they've set up their own Cosmic Divide, and they're trying to stick onto the defuse all the way through. It's T1 who gives them that respect.
Yeah, I think T1 obviously losing Buzz is a bit of a difference maker in that B side after plant. The Neon's mobility and the ability to wrestle control of backhauls is a big factor. When May's able to pluck him out of the air like that and the lockdown flushes out the rest of the site, it really limits your ability to play that post plant. You want your Sky and your Neon to be the disruptive forces in the backhauls and on the site, and when both of them go down that easily and you're able to dive in and deal with the opposing lockdown, and that retake gets a little bit easier and you're feeling a little bit safer with the Cosmic Divide on B long there.
Well, in the upcoming round, T1 just trying to suss things out across the map, this time towards A site, not seeing too much though.
Refleksnya gokil, iya. Gila nih kalau udah
A main control taken
kalau nonton mereka nih rasanya tuh
kind of this approach where you're leaving
kayak nggak masuk
Munchkin on the
logika banget.
extremities. Munchkin
Yes.
looking to juke the drone here. Nobody taking a main control off the back of it, but the Astra not spotted out. Munchkin creeping back onto the line, and Akame a little bit quicker to the draw. That's a big kill for DFM. No smokes now available on T1. It's going to make it much harder to navigate this round.
Yeah, that's painful despite juking the drone as well. Meteor's going to try to fill in the gaps, but at the same time he's been spotted out. Maybe trying to keep players from DFM just around this spot while the rest of his team starts to put the foot down towards B site.
I mean, B is completely open here. DFM very much trusting their retake, despite the fact they've invested both the Sova drone and the Teo stealth drone. So you're not going to be able to flexibly clear out some of these annoying positions unless you're investing your utility and going in together. But in a flashless comp, that can go horribly wrong. Because you see Buzz and Stax both still alive, and they're looking to play disruptively. Crossfire between Buzz and Meteor on street. But it's a full approach through spawn here for DFM.
Just buying a little bit more time, get the rest of the team nearby. But that salvo's already spent. He's got one more. Meanwhile, Izu is in position with the operator. Buzz could potentially sneak in a little bit closer as well. First shot whiffs. Ooh! And suddenly DFM has a lot more initiative. They try to sneak through, but it's Meteor on the off angle. A slight trade. And now DFM start to fan out, trying to clear out back hauls, and it's Akame still providing that much more firepower for the team. The Japanese squad comes up in spades. And now DFM up to 5, a big improvement from last week's defense against Full Sense.
Yeah, Akame's just going ballistic this map, deals with the lurker over on the A side of the map, then just busts open the B side on the retake. That difference is made not only losing your primary smokes in A main, this was a big impact kill from him, but also neither Buzz nor Stax have any impact disrupting the retake. Izu misses his shot on Heaven. So this is a situation where DFM coming back into the B site could have potentially lost 2 picks, but without either of those shots connecting, Buzz and Izu both not able to actually pick these players completing the retake in through Heaven's side. It's a little bit easier for DFM to scale in, and that becomes an impossible hold for T1.
Not the form that you would expect T1 to be in post-plant, but either way, they go at it again, this time a little bit pacier towards A site, but May in position with Refract as well. T1 waited out, and then for Buzz to sneak through. Slides in from right underneath their nose and finds one, but May fires back. Suddenly the whole team just thrown into chaos as DFM puts up a good fight around the smokes. It's been picked up. Meteor just sneaks through.
What a sneaky boy. He's just pinched the spike for free. Back into A main now. It's still not a good position for T1. Let's not twist our words. Tour de Force is active though for Izu. He's just going to hold this A main line. He wants to punish anybody going looking for information. Yatsuka dealing with the turret in the middle of the map is going to make Meteor a little more concerned, a little more nervous that someone might be flanking them. But if there's anybody that can navigate a mid-round like this, it is Meteor. He's a master at lurking on the attack side and finding the gaps, especially in these messy mid-round situations.
It's not going to be easy though. Pilly, there's so much KJ utility. I mean, okay, it's disabled, so he might actually be able to sneak through.
Alarmbot's taking a nap.
Left.
And Meteor given full control here. DFM trusting the safety in numbers. It's an approach that's worked fairly well for them. But all it's going to take is one of these players on T1 actually starting to hit some shots. Nice open plant next to Spammable. And Meteor has both nanos as well as an alarm bot to work with Izu now making his way over to a DeForce in hand. He's whiffed a couple of op shots so far this game. Cannot afford to miss this time.
Because it's Meteor on the Sentinel as well, I mean, kind of signals to them playing a lot more defensive around the spike rather than pushing further up front.
DFM has 1 star, that's it. No other util to get back in here. They're going to need some really good spacing.
Just all down to the fights. May has swapped over to a rifle as well, so ops be damned, but unless Izu connects every single bit, it's still going to be tough. 2 players going down now, and it's just May. Just trying to bait them out into the open, but that costs time, and the spike will go off. May only walking away with 1 kill.
I mean, that's the difference between T1 hitting shots when DFM are completing the retake and not. You see that back-to-back in round 8 and round 9. Round 8, they missed the shots. They give space to T1 coming back in on that, to DFM rather, coming back in on that retake, and it's a successful retake where they're able to scale in together. But when they get disrupted, when the op on the line hits a shot, Meteor pokes out backhauls, becomes an impossible prospect. DFM giving them a lot of space and not remaining that active in the mid-round. It's one of those situations where it can be easy thinking, oh, we're up in numbers, we'll be fine in on the retake. But against players of this level, sometimes that's just not the case.
Still though, every win so far for DFM has been a defuse, somewhat of a retake. So just a lot of trust in it still. This time trying to hold up May in a different position. Wants to catch someone unsuspecting, and he will. Looks to reposition as well. The bus is already past the open line.
Buzz has been so good at finding that opener in backhauls. It's a big position to be grasping control of. Hunter's Fury and conversion pass. There it is coming in from May. Kaide's found Buzz on transition. Izu's still on the line, forced to rendezvous away, and now Meteor will take his place. He cops 1 pulse at the Hunter's Fury, but the Cosmic is still up as T1 put the spike down.
Yeah, just trying to play it quick to displace the spike plant as well, but not sure if these shots will actually connect Izu. Perhaps in a tricky position now, allowing for Kami to push up after the stun. It's just Meteor towards the back of sight, but he's still quite the menace. Just jiggling back around. Sesh trying to bait him out. He knows he's low. All he needs is 1 shot. Oh, but attention away onto the spike. Meteor just looks for the tightest sliver, up for a Red Bull clutch.
I mean, this is the class of Meteor. Started out this game 0-5, and now he's 7-8, having won multiple XVXs and clutches for T1. He is such a game changer when he gets himself rolling. Buzz with another key entry back into the site, and although May causes T1 some serious problems, picking not only the flashes and the solo init on the side of T1, but also their smokes. Izu and Meteor in a post plant on B for the 2nd round in a row. Get it done.
Now better equipped to go back into it. Just a bit of noise presence around A main.
Sheriff's around a hero op for May. He has been connecting his shots thus far and posted over at A main. He's going to get a crack here, but Trailblazer avoided nicely for now. Will there be a follow-up flash? Ooh, jiggle.
Jiggle instead, he saved the flash for something else. Meanwhile, a little bit curious as Izu's the one lurking this time. Still though, pushing all the way up. Alongside the fast lanes, he's got a judge this time around. May just trying to pick a different position, walks away the kill against Stacks, but still, it's Buzz. He's gone past, infiltrated behind enemy lines. Oh, says though! Whoa! What a sneaky position upstairs. As soon as the smoke dissipates, still past that fact, it's the attacking lockdown that gets deployed. DFM have no choice but to try to respect it. It is somewhat of an eco round after all. May still thinking of going at it though. When does he decide to possibly save? I mean, it's the 2nd last round of the first half, but it feels as though you're just completely surrounded at this point.
Yeah, he's been given nothing. Meteor picking off the back of the grab well. And does seem like he is going to get the opportunity to save, perhaps, unless Munchkin is way too far ahead of him. Cuts him off at the legs. 3K for Munchkin, and T1 taking the lead now on the attacking side. They were a little slow to start, but now that they've got rolling, it really feels like their game of Pearl. It's a generational whip from Cess, but look, he still finished.
Got the kill, he got the kill.
He'll finish it up. mean, that operator is not something that they can afford to replace, I don't think.
I think someone else bought for him, and then he just gifted, you know, rifle back.
Yeah, and Cess, I didn't think he was going to have full utility buying that for May, but he actually has gone down to light armor and still can afford all of his salvos. Buzz picking up the pace straight through Art, but this is trying to draw some rotations, if anything. T1 aren't decided where they're finishing this round just yet. May trying to dive in with the cheeky refract shorty play. Doesn't get an opportunity to pick T1.
All these early moves, though, have already kind of displaced DFM.
I mean, they've lost the middle of the map. They are in panic stations right now trying to figure out what's going on. Good news is Akame at least has a main, so that's a good info line. Turret hasn't been triggered in the middle of the map. Finally gets dealt with. Where did T1 finish here?
It feels like it's angling towards B for now. It's a 2-3 split for DFM. When do they start rotating? They're not seeing anything towards A main. And the drone has gone out to clear R.
May looking for a pick, diving in through the fast lane. Misses his opportunity, and now T1 have got boots on the ground in the site. Kaide prepping the lockdown in response. There it goes.
Flush someone out of position enough for May, but goes in for a pop shot instead. Now Seeker's in response just to try and confirm that no one's flanking.
Ooh, Armageddon is going to catch Izu for sure. Yeah, that's a beautiful salvo to follow up.
And then everyone just spreads out across the spike. Some potential body blocks as well. Kaideo's already gotten it to halfway, and I don't think T1 kind of has a drop on it anymore. Despite the kills at the end, the spike defuse confirms it. It's 6-6 at the end of the first half.
Yeah, that's rough. Gravity Well doesn't manage to cancel the half. I wasn't actually across where the DFM were body blocking that one, but they finally pull off yet another successful B retake.
Halftime.
As we go into halftime here, it's dead even. I feel like that was a roller coaster of a half that's ended up dead even. You know, I felt like DFM, it was unlosable for them in the first 4 rounds. Then they lose to the Bucky of Buzz, and things get very messy from there. Still anyone's game at this point.
For sure. I mean, I don't think we got to see too much of DFM's attack in the previous week, but apart from that, T1 feels like they still got quite a bit of depth.
Looking quite comfortable here. T1 single-handedly want to run through this group and deny any opportunities for Japanese Valorant. They've already dealt with Varel, and I do believe Zeta's in this group as well, right?
Oh,
yep.
yeah.
DFM, Zeta.
You know what? That's actually the next thing, because DFM, you know, starting off the opening week, come out with a loss, fine. Going up against T1, you hope to at least find a map or two. Hopefully you win the whole series, because your next opponent's going to be Zeta. You want to be feeling good going into that one. Be that flag bearer of Japanese Valorant.
I mean, they've front-loaded a lot of their tougher games. Full Sense looks like they're in good form. Then you're playing T1, who are just representing Pacific over on the international stage. They can be a little slow to start. As we saw versus Varel, that Haven game was not the prettiest game of Valorant. But that just shows the quality of T1, I think, at the end of the day. Even in a game where they don't look like they're switched on, where they lose pistols, where they're losing to sheriff rounds and things like that, T1 still finds a way to win.
Cool.
That's a potential discussion as well, because T1's up against RRQ next, another team that, you know, can take a while to get going. But for now, we're back into the pistol with DFM pushing down middle.
Oh, Izu spotted out on B long there. As the rest of DFM creeping into Art. Middle of the map held together with a little bit of tape, an alarm bot, and a trademark. And once T1 rather loses the middle of the map here, how do they respond once that alarm bot is triggered?
Just trying to hold it. Pushing in towards A main as well is pretty sneaky with stacks. Up around the smokes, will spot out Cess. Having a tough time trying to finish off the kill. He gets it at the end and turns back around. Takes down 2. Cess managed to bring things back, but still, now you're back into a 3v3 with May on low HP.
Yeah, where are the stars? Does Munchkin even have any available to him? Because there isn't a fast lane, so this defuse is going to be a difficult prospect. Buzz not quite able to calibrate onto May, low HP. Yatsuka playing on the site.
Just not too worried about it. Goes in to clear the corners. Has potential slide as well. Uses it to clear out Yatsuka instead, but May still fighting. He's so darn low though. Munchkin's just gonna try to stick onto the spike all the way through. Full trust in Izu until he gets off at the last second, saves the round, and now T1 walks away with the lead.
Yeah, I don't know what Stax got away with inside of A main there. It was Sass he was looking for. DFM does a good job in the mid round, going and crunching into A main, trying to hunt down that Sky, and they lose 2 players to the Bandit. Let's have a little bit of a look at it. Bang! Those are the last 2 bullets in his clip. Oh, he actually had 3. But very, very sharp shots on the Bandit. I mean, that's how I feel about the Bandit in general. It's just like with City, and then sometimes when you hit a couple of headshots with it, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, this gun's good.
When it hits, it hits.
Yeah, when it hits, it really hits. T1 deny DFM their first pistol loss on Pearl this season, but 3-1 ain't bad for them.
Otherwise, a full investment for this round, trying to carry him over onto the next.
Turret dealt with. Big rotations over to B here for T1.
Just trying to dive on through. T1 though, just playing around the corner. Munchkin goes down at the end still, but it's Buzz.
Oh man, the judge is just free farm against pistols. Just like you're running around at a kid's birthday with a pool noodle, just whacking them.
I'm out of here.
Okay.
Not speaking from experience. I'm extremely well mannered. I'm a nice man.
Sounds like a fun time.
That's cyberbullying at its finest.
Well, at least now you're aware that there's a judge in the next round.
Yeah, not sure that really helps you when it's in the hands of a Neon in this meta, you know? It's just like, well, I'm in for pain, potentially, and in A main is exactly where that pain will be inflicted. Big Relay Bolt straight on the face of DFM.
That is
denied
disgusting.
Any space over at A main. Smoke's a little off there. T1, who feel like pushing A main is not enough. Now he must push B main. Yatsuka's AFK over in this part of the map though, and a little bit of a messy duel against Meteor gets him on the fadeaway. That's a big pick for DFM.
Yeah, his return to the keyboard
Scout destroyed.
and the mouse. Possibly may be able to walk away with another unless Munchkin goes down. It's a stinger after all, but the rest of T1 just trying to pick up the pieces now, trying to fill in the gaps that have been left open across the map.
Creeping into Art now. Drone goes through A main, guarding light will confirm presence in middle, so this is quite readable for T1. Izu looking to stick around. Made low on HP is easy pickings for the Outlaw.
And it's just gonna reload, reposition, re-engage. More kills going down as DFM tried to aggress out from these ingresses, but still, T1 make it tough. Shots from Izu taking down players, and it's just Cess left. 20 seconds to go.
He's sweating bullets. Munchkin is already on the flank. He hasn't put the spike down yet. It's getting a little bit sweaty. Stinger could be problematic in this kind of an angle, but when your opponent's not looking at you, that should be free. Last little couple of bursts. It was anything but clean, but it was good enough for Munchkin to get it done. 9 up for T1, and they're going to win a bonus. Oh, you're starting to feel not so great about this Pearl pick for DFM yet again.
That was a gut punch of a round, especially considering the fact that they came into this round with, you know, guns from the previous, the Stinger of all things, but it was a smart choice not to pick up that Vandal. Concealed his position, picked up the flank.
I mean, this is just perfection from Munchkin, though. Placing down those Astra Stars, giving a little bit of pocket to play in over on Churchside to his teammate, and then coming in on the flank. He's had a great game so far.
Then it's the same thing again. This judge.
Stealth drone, not quite dodged by Izu. He's gonna force his way back onto this B long line.
It feels like he doesn't care.
No, I mean, that's how you play Chamber. You are I mean, now that Yoru's gone, you are the don't care guy. There's no free jet dash, there's no Yoru TP. Trademark dealt with by the Nano Swarm. DFM trying to work the map, deal with some of this Sentinel utility wherever they can. Bit of a trap set up inside of Art. Munchkin just posted up on this A main line, and he's definitely going to get some action. But when you have a look at Buzz on the judge, Stack's close by. This is going to be a quick flood back into A. I don't know if DFM's going to be ready for it.
Possibly not, especially around the stairs position as well. Now clearing out middle, which allows for Manny to get a little bit further up front. He's got a Bucky of all things. Unfortunately, the shot doesn't quite connect.
Yeah, it should be the fast lane and the guarding light straight back in. But Cosmic invested by DFM. They're going to this round.
On a round where you got 4 sheriffs, now I'm curious. Trying to hang out towards the back end of spawn as well. But T1 are just setting up. Okay, first shot goes wide. It's going to be Cess that connects. And then for the rest of DFM to continue to hold. Spike being tapped now, or maybe connected all the way through. They need to peek off, and they managed to find the kills, but still, Defuse connected, not quite. It's DFM that serves up the Thrifty.
That is a hell of a flick right at the end of the round. I don't know how close that defuse was.
Makan guys, makan.
But DFM, the Cosmic investment has helped pinch around from T1. They had no business winning. Good shot from Cess on the Sheriff. Over here in spawn side, Akame backing up main nicely. Then just down to the last second. Beautiful flicks from Kaide there. Has a tough time dealing with Buzz's movement, but the flick through the fast lane is beautiful to watch.
Saw it a second before, but now they go at it again. Full clash inside of A main. Buzz in a deep position, cannot get out. Main has already gone past the opening line. It sets up convergent paths straight through it to exactly where T1 are hiding. Cosmetic's done though, and Stacks tries to hold. It's Izu instead that fans out, takes down 2!
Down to a 3-on-2. Definitely favoring DFM at this point. Still double nanos in the back pocket. You've got the stealth drone to help try to find out where the retake is coming from T1. Nanos invested onto the spike. Stealth drone clears out all of Art, but here's the Cosmic back in reply for T1.
Just cannot give up your position though, Stacks. Cess just trying to jiggle around it. It's Meteor that pushes up. Now the final player who was way too disconnected as the sole lurker towards B site. He's finally made it here, but he gets pulled in by the Gravwell.
Is that his Gravwell?
I feel like it was.
I feel like that was definitely looking like Attacker's Gravwell post-side placement, and if he just ran through the Cosmic into his own Gravwell, that is...
Maybe he tried to use it to peek, but...
I don't know. Don't know about that one. Could have been Munchkin's Gravwell. Wasn't paying super close attention. Worth mentioning, though, that Yatsuka has just had to swap back onto the Astra after not really playing it and being on the info in-air role. So those are the kind of things where, you know, you're not really sure if he's fully comfortable. That was his Gravwell. He's Gravwelled himself into Meteor's crosshair.
Feels bad. What else are you going to say? It's T1 with double digits now, and their ults are starting to cycle up.
Buy back through here for DFM. Into A main confirms that there wasn't anybody super deep on through there. Tour de force on an off angle in the middle of the map. Izu looking to disrupt this default, but after a little bit of A main pressure, DFM are going to make their way back towards B. Jiggle from Meteor, hoping to inform the rotates as the round goes a little bit deeper. Armageddon in the post plant. Stealth drone will go forward. In the meantime, Trailblazer clearing out all of A main. So T1, they're reading this round quite well. You're already seeing the rotation back across from Buzz, and with an overdrive in the back pocket, this could be a very big, I was gonna say flood, but they're already on the side.
Yeah, they just conditioned DFM to end up on the B side this time. But the Armageddon does make it a little bit difficult though, not fully. T1 just sidestep it. Now trying to hold different positions. Watch out for the incoming angle. Stacks pushes up and the peaks go huge. It's Buzz onto overdrive now. He's clearing out back sight, beams down 1. Continues to slide back and forth, and Meteor provides assistance. It's Buzz! Quad kill to completion, and T1 not slowing down.
I mean, Buzz is just a beast on the B site right now. On attack, on defense, really just dominates backhauls. Big problem for DFM to deal with. And you could see it off the back of the Trailblazer into A main. Having the Neon be able to get into the B site in time is such a big difference maker. When he has the overdrive in the back pocket, and you can see right at the last second there, he gets a multi-frag to give him another slide to easily pick up that last player. 19 and 14. Buzz is looking like one of the best Neons in Pacific this season.
For sure, not someone that we can forget about. Tough times for DFM in the upcoming round. Still trying to fish around the A side though, but unfortunately it's Izu that bites.
Yeah, nice opening pick on the Outlaw. He's been a bit of a menace over on that A side of the map. Despite the fact that you're running the double drones, he's just still such a problem. It's free farm for him with how many light armors there are. Buzz continuing to shoot the bodies. Unnecessary. But, you know, you'll take what you can get. He's got himself 20 kills, so we'll grant him this celebration.
He's like, I want another overdrive. You don't need it, man.
don't think there's time for another overdrive. I think this game is over.
No. When your opponents are up to 11 and you're just trying to bank everything on this possible round because you don't want to have to climb up against a 12. But either way, now you're playing against the back foot for sure. T1 are still just doing fantastic recon work right now.
Yeah, Stax is reading the game on the solo unit very, very well. Always just trailblazing out some of these positions, investing his guarding lines when necessary. Sentinel Util is keeping the rest of the map in check. And Izu on these info lines. Buzz and Meteor, hand in hand, creeping up street. With 20 seconds on the clock, I think DFM are just trying to save these Vandals. But as T1 with a great economy behind you, you definitely go hunting for these weapons.
Oh no, and that's where they might get corralled into an unwanted corner. Munchkin starting to push up alongside as well. They have to be able to make this hold, but no, Meteor crashes into them.
That's Meteor's lockdown off those last 2 kills as well. He was 1 off.
Match point.
So T1 making sure they have all the bells and whistles heading into what could be the final round of Pearl here.
I don't feel good about this, Billy. This was meant to be DFM's map. They picked it, you know, so far, this is the second picking.
I mean, this is just theory Valorant versus Valorant in practice, you know? You think to
Damn.
yourself, going into the attacking side, like, I have 2 drones. He can't pick me with the operator. Yes, he can, bro. He absolutely can. You're just far too strong on the timings. Outlaw upgraded to an operator. Pace into the middle of the map here. May dealing with the trademark. T1 with a bit of a firing squad though. Shoving their way up B long and giving up the middle of the map this round.
This feels a little bit like deja vu because T1 did similar plans back on their attacking side. Now spots out Yatsuka.
I'm out of here.
Pushing all the way up. They have 3 after all. Yatsuka still makes the good go. But then the rest of the team from DFM suddenly ending up towards the A site. T1 might not have been expecting that, but they made it a good fight still.
That can work for them though. Although they've already used the salvos, double nanos, shockies, as well as a Hunter's Fury and a lockdown in the post plant. Kaide on the off angle, not feeling the need to push the issue there. If he lost his life to Izu, could have been a bad set of circumstances, but now joined up with Cess, they're feeling a little bit more comfortable about their prospects. T1 have wasted a lot of time clearing out the map.
Stairs is not being watched. Oh, now it is.
Recovering it.
T1 just kind of staying close enough, hover around if they can get an opening pick here or there. If not, just the save. We'll have to fight another day.
I mean, it's just really good pivot in the mid round for DFM there. They see that it's a 3-1-1 of some kind or a 3-2. Big shove up B long. Yatsuka goes down, but when you're snappy and you're on top of the calling, you know that you've got a 3 or 4 on 2 on the other side of the map, maybe even a 4 on 1. That's a situation where you catch the chamber in transition, you're able to catch the solo in on the site, you can get yourself into a very nice looking post plant. They don't even have to invest the ults there to get the job done.
I like it. The Hail Mary pass kind of converted into a lifeline now.
I think that's where you could have probably had a bit more of a solid setup for T1. You know, you want your chamber in a position where, you know, if you're shoving your way... Actually, the chamber wasn't over there, was he? It was the chamber on B long. Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
Fair enough, but either way, now they're back to the same old plan. Just full spam into the smoke, though, and they will catch Buzz this time. Hunter's Fury into the stun as well! And then it's T1 playing against the back foot. I mean, trying to come back up.
In this current meta, that's just one of those situations where you go, I'm very dead. Berserk's on the rope the other day. I'm dead. Drone goes forward. There's a lockdown as well to try to secure things here for DFM. Not playing any games in this 5-on-3, not taking any risk.
Love it.
Double drones go forward. Smokes in towards Pit and Flowers. Should be able to get onto the site here.
T1 though, trying to pick the right timings. Unfortunately, it's not quite coming to fruition just yet. Onto the spike as well. Munchkin looking for a spam, but gets spammed back instead.
This is perfection from DFM in this round. Izu at least able to take one with him, but I don't think he's getting much more than that. Trying to save the operator. Maze in hot pursuit, but spotted out by the trademark. I mean, there really wasn't much that DFM could have done better. They got a pretty fortunate spam kill in A main. Traded that second player out, and then locked down to create enough space. But what I was more impressed by... I mean, Izu wasn't watching the right line that goes through suicide. Very nice. Takes the op out of his hands. The anti-flood from DFM was beautiful there, though. They're investing the salvos and the nanos onto Flowers, onto Pit. try to get themselves a safer plant, got them a free kill.
More time kah?
Very, very nice.
It's definitely that kind of effort that you want to applaud for the Japanese team.
That's perfect. It's exactly what you want to do in that situation. Counter spam was great too. That's just a perfect attacking side round for DFM.
4 more chances for T1 to close it out. They call in the timeout now.
Let's see what they can construct for themselves. Shown a fair bit of diversity on this defense so far already. Most of the time it's been retake B and then kind of active on A in the mid-round. I think the all-out A fights haven't really favored them too much, and I don't think that's too surprising given what you can see with the comps. DFM has got a little bit more punching power when it comes to the utility. When you're sending Buzz in on the Neon with a guiding light, it just doesn't have the same kind of oomph as I can throw missiles at you and the Waylay can dive in for free, saturate, and refract out, you know? Like, DFM's comp is just a little bit better in those kind of scrappy A main exchanges.
Surely. But let's shift the perspective back towards DFM then. Like, how do you play around possibly Buzz going somewhere else on the map?
I think they need to change up or reinvent the wheel too much. Attacking side op for May is a bit of a change up though. Seems like he's going to be taking that over towards the B side of the map, and Izu posted up in A main yet again. Buzz is getting active inside of R.
Alongside Stacks on the judge.
Yep. Guiding light outside of A main will confirm that there is somebody there from the attackers. It's Kaide lurking though. Izu walking up on the line. There's the pullback on the start. Beautiful team play from DFM. Yatsuka has set him up for a freebie. And that is completely going to break the setup from T1.
What a way to play the Astra. Kind of happy with that frag as well. The rest of the team just trying to sneak around, see what they can find towards B.
This is perfect again from DFM. Kaide just jiggling away, doesn't overcook the round. Maintains the man advantage while spotting out the sky. May's on this deep info line. If they go looking for information on B, he should get a free kill here. Ready for the jump spot.
T1's not budging though.
Meteor's right there. Still a lot of utility to get into the site here. Lockdown is in the back pocket for Meteor. They've got 3 players over here.
Take flight. Just try to set up a big wall with the 3. Well, DFM plant in their own. But at the same time, Buzz trying to sneak all the way back lines. He turns away the worst possible second. DFM now seizing control over whatever space they have. At the same time, Kaide still skulking around.
That's just going to be a save from T1. It's another beautiful round from DFM, though, has to be said.
Banyakan taunting lu, nembak-nembak.
On a comp with no flashes, you have to get very creative about how you're challenging some of these angles. So pulling back stars is a perfect example. The Consume giving a freebie to Kaide. Just able to break that up line. Angle from Stacks here.
Kaide gets a kill, he would have done more points towards the alt there, but
I mean, he'll get one anyway.
Not the worst thing in the world, you know, vie back up again. But main thing, 2 more to push us into OT.
It's definitely doable for DFM. The last few rounds have looked pretty nice for them. For T1, though, it feels like they're getting the worst end of the timings. You look at what happened to Izu with the Consume. You look at Buzz inside of that smoke. You know, how many times have you seen a judge in a position like that just wipe the enemy team? He's just not quite able to get the timing right. These things happen. But DFM, make no mistake, I mean, these have been some great attacking side rounds. Just wonder if they've given themselves enough rope. A little dive in there from May to get a freebie on the rotation. The very, very strong plus of the Waylay. Can get into some ridiculous positions to kind of cut the flood off at the legs before, you know, you even get into the site hit.
Gonna go back into it. A main once again, but T1 trying to peek outside of Art this time.
Bit more activity on mid. Art will take that information line back. Teo drone going down B long, not spitting out a single thing. Sova drone over on the other side of the map just to be able to secure a main control. You can see May holding the convergent paths based off the drone contact, but we'll get to save that for later in the round.
Just in case. T1 though, just kind of slinking back to fortify heavier defenses. It's all the Killjoy utility on towards A site.
Oh, he snuck past the turret, Kaide. Lockdown as well as the Seeker is going to be great retake tools for T1, but are they ready for Kaide? Great jiggle from Munchkin, keeps himself alive, and there's the A site in the favor of DFM.
Just close enough, but still all that footwork done. He's already cleared out most of the site. It's going to be a quick flood for T1 just to try to fend this off, but so far so good. The kills start out great for DFM. Seekers back in, plus a lockdown just to try to fend them off, but the picks still coming up in spades for the Japanese team. Continuing to pick their fights, pick their angles. A slight flank going through as Kaide gets sniped down, but ultimately it's the full force, full frontal collision outside of Zare. Stacks it. Izu fire back though, and then it's a jumping Yatsuka just to try to save it. 10 seconds and the spike is not down. It's all in or nothing. And Izu tries to pick the best possible timing, but Yatsuka games it. Taps off the spike, finds the kill, completes a Red Bull clutch, and gives DFM one more round for potential overtime.
T1 are going to be kicking themselves. They invest the Seekers and the lockdown and still don't come away with the round. The Red Bull clutch for Yatsuka. This is just a situation where, great, you've got the lockdown down. Unfortunately, your Astra is dead, so you can't smoke off A main. So that's where DFM go, well, if I just sit in A main here and just hold all the angles, we're still in a pretty good position.
No freaking way.
Juke did so well there. Great patience from Yatsuka, hiding inside of his own smoke. I thought T1 was on for one. That was some heroics from Izu and Stacks from the backside of the site. DFM, could they complete the journey all the way back into overtime? Attacking side operator yet again. Armageddon across the backside of the site. In comes the B execute. It's a little bit of a slower one with the drone to go first.
Just go out the opening spots, but at the same time, T1 are already nearby. They've got the guns as well. And Buzz is back on the judge. 2 kills and it would be an overdrive. He starts to make his move and connects onto the first. May makes it a stop. The rest of the team trying to spot out the rest of DFM, but they're still trying to hold. Kaide comes up huge with 1, continues to play around the corner. Spots out towards the top, but he's running off ammo. Still connects the headshot. Kaide,
overtime,
the beast.
Let's go.
3 and pushes DFM up to overtime.
What a run back into OT for DFM. I thought they were cooked when they were down 7-12. But some really great attacking-sided rounds from them. Didn't get a chance to show much of them against Full Sense just the other day. Their defense really let them down in the first half. But I think you can see, like, this is the confidence of a team that has got such depth built up with this comp. They didn't want to let the comp go. They said, let's just change who's playing what. Keep a lot of the same ideas that we feel like have been quite successful for us. Now as we head into OT, T1 on the attacking side. Looks like they have let this game slip through their fingers a little. After a rough start to the season, DFM, they get themselves a map win here on Pearl. They're going to start to feel a little bit better about things.
Guys, kita main nggak boleh kebanyakan taunting, guys.
Confident to clear out A main this time. Not seeing too much though. It's drones on both ends of the map.
That's a good dodge in the Trailblazer for a moment. Hand in hand with Kaide. Playing inside of the smoke.
Just trying to listen if Buzz or anyone's trying to push up, but not seeing too much
kan
now.
agresif
DFM
banget
just
tuh.
continuing to clear and check most of the lanes across the map.
Yeah, stealth drone goes through the middle of the map. Both of the drones invested by DFM, just looking for information in the mid-round. It's a pretty pacifist approach from T1. Meteor's not active in the middle of the map. They're not going to have a lurk. There's the smoke to go up and the guiding light forward. Nano will hold Buzz at bay for now.
Confirms it. Buzz, though, after the swarm dissipates, continues to push through. A slight stun, but it's not enough. The open line has been broken apart. The rest of DFM try to retake with 3. A bit of futile to go through.
Team May tried to hold that at bay with the saturate, but didn't quite get the timing off.
And with the lost timing as well, now it's T1 who are in forward positions, just trying to observe, spot out any incoming DFM assailants. First one goes down, and then the rest out from spawn as well. They know it all too clear. Still though, Cess continues to step through, but ultimately going down in the end. T1 take control of OT.
Yeah, the entries into the B site were just way too clean there.
Switching sides.
DFM,
Come on, DPM.
Decent
Let's
positions
go.
to be able to deal with that B hit, but it gets folded. Take a closer look at what actually happened here. Different variation on the execute. Fast lane across connector side with the guiding light through. Izu goblining inside his teammates' fast lane, trying to catch one of the defenders, getting in a cheeky position, which is exactly what happens. This is T1 having some nice depth, changing up their approach to the site, having a couple of different ways that they can hit the B site, and this time DFM doesn't play around it well enough. That is the strength of playing Sky Neon.
Now they just got to play that strength on the defense.
Guiding Light confirming, well, not too much, but I think hearing the drone here for the defense, you're going to be well aware that this could be an ace play. It's just a double drone into the A execute.
Not quite clear as day, but at the same time, you're flushing your opponents out from dugout, secret, spots where they won't be able to contend with the spike plant. So far, so good. DFM will be able to hang back.
Yeah, do have salvos in the back pocket that could help them in the post plant. Nano's deployed onto the spike with at least a 1-star placed on that spike. Trailblazer going forward and confirming there's no one on the site for DFM. They are playing full post plant.
Yeah, playing all the way from port side. Meanwhile, T1 pushing on the aft. They've cleared out most of it. Could potentially try to sit on the spike, get it to halfway as well. T1 just continuing to block and defend. They have it to half. And now it's DFM's turn to make a move. They just dumped all their ammunition into a general spot, taking down every single player. The Armageddon at the end chases Munchkin away. DFM strike back.
Got it to the A side a little too cleanly. T1 giving them a lot of space to work with, and with the comp that you're running on DFM, those post plants are pretty free if you don't make a mistake. Very hands off. Well aware that the Neon Sky comp wants to dive back into Art there and punishing it kind. First time the Buzz tried to go up the stairs into Art, he gets stunned by the Teo. The second time you can tell that he's turtled up, playing the post plant accordingly. Credit to T1, a nice body block to get them to half on the spike, but it still wasn't good enough.
Timeout.
Go for a second go. Timeout now being called by the DFM coaching staff.
See what they come up with. They're going to go back onto the defense. Akame's got the operator out. I don't know if that's going to last. Up on the Sova.
Surely that's okay.
Haven't seen an Odin yet. I wouldn't mind, honestly, towards this A side. Haven't been playing too much of those kind of spam battles.
Yeah, that could be a potential.
I think it's the kind of thing where you can definitely get your scans against this comp as well if you time it right. Like if you're holding the recon card, fast lane goes up, guiding light over the top. It's very obvious when the sight hit is coming in. The Neon's going to be inside of his fast lane. You can't always reliably dodge the scan. The rest of the boys are going to be following up behind that off the back of the guiding light. So honestly, recon bolt with the Odin in pit could be something that actually breaks one of these A hits.
Something that T1 might not expect.
Opts out for Mate. He's going to be over towards B. Does seem like T1 is going to fake the B control with a little bit of Sky utility early on. Turret goes into middle. The B-long smoke in combination with the consumed Trailblazer. Mate dodging that out and posting on the info line. So all of this aggro that's being attempted there by the Sky is read fairly well by DFM. I mean, they can see there's no one towards B, and the stealth drone confirms someone's in the middle of the map. So DFM, they know exactly what's up here. Big rotation back across to that A side of the map, but it's not a commitment from T1. They're just getting the orb. They've deposited Izu in the middle of the map, and now they're going to meet back up with Stacks.
Just trying to investigate. Problem is, though, May has been a menace with his operator in that first half against players like Buzz. Could do the same thing. Of course, it's a slight risk because he doesn't have armor, though. Oh, shot goes wide. The flash to support as well. And Buzz now trying to set foot into B side. He's gotten back Halls. May, though, still with the angle. Connects onto the first, re-peeks, anticipating Buzz to push through. Suddenly it's Izu out from the back of middle. Gotta watch out for the backs. Meanwhile, DFM still trying to focus attention towards the front with Meteor and everyone trying to get the spike down. But there goes the spam! The Odin and his Ravens now clearing out the site.
Not planted yet. Sova drone goes forward, still a man advantage for DFM, but they've lost this same post plant with a man advantage on the defense before.
Waiting for the smoke to go through now. While T1 just holds for best possible crosshair placement. All hopping around, what? Buzz, he just has the off angle alongside Izu. Odin or not, it doesn't matter. T1 continue forward.
I mean, I felt like a kangaroo going across the road into a car. I've seen that on the highway in Australia. Oh, that's what we just witnessed.
Roadkill.
Yeah. Just hopping their way back into the site with a massive crossfire from T1. doesn't go too favorably for DFM, and this is kind of what I was talking about. Like, you can have a man advantage. This is the closest thing outside of Autumn we have to Australian Valor and Pacific. I mean, another man disadvantage post plant won by DFM, or run by T1 on that B site. Exchange of utility over towards A main early on. Buzz make his way back towards Art. It's a very centralized setup for T1. They've just left Izu on that A main line. Guiding light clearing out middle. Timmy the turret gets bullied yet again. It is his purpose in life. Aerodrone re-clearing A main. Spot out the chamber.
A very passive hold, expecting T1 to make the early pushes. Now just trying to find other options. A bit of a drone towards A main. Might keep some of the attention from T1 away, but ultimately DFM looking to end up on B.
Turret dealt with. There's a lot of utility in this choke for Meteor. See if the shocks are good. Buzz has made his way over here as well. There's 4 players on B for T1. This could be them holding B for the game.
Might not be good for DFM after all. They've taken quite a bit of damage through suppressive fire outside of the smokes as well. And you got nanostorms and everything. May makes quick entry on towards the top of heaven. Doesn't see too much though, but will reveal a bit of positioning. At the same time, it's just Buzz! Full connects on towards the other side of the smoke. Off a recon tap, and it's on towards Munch to finish OT. They don't go through that far. And ultimately, T1 still snatches Pearl away from DFM.
All that hard work, and you don't even get a dub as DFM. That's going to be quite disappointing. Great resilience to be able to bring it back into overtime, and undeniably a better game that they had on Pearl against Full Sense last game. But unfortunately, still not good enough. And yet again, we look at T1 and we say, what was that? Their B game, their C game, and they still find a way to win. Even when things are scrappy, even when they're not playing their best possible game, T1 still wins maps.
Thank you for watching. Jangan lupa like dan comment dan subscribe. See you in the next live. Bang Paulus mau lanjut bikin konten harus ya teman-teman ya. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, Mumu Kue Kue.
That's one where I don't know how well DFM's going to do as well. Meanwhile, this